Okay, everybody, so here I am back in my kitchen. And again, I talked to you about being prepared, how to go about making sure that you have what you need so that you can really move through your day without all these concerns about, well, I forgot this and I didn't do that and I don't have enough food and I forgot. And it really makes your day much more frustrating when you're not prepared. And the biggest thing that a lot of us goof up on is our food. We just aren't taking care of ourselves. The main reason for that is that we're taking it one meal at a time. And you know, the meal time comes up, we go, oh, we're hungry, what do we want to eat? And then you're just left with cravings. And so you usually move towards the worst choices, yeah? So if you have food with you, your choice is already made, and it's already ready to go. So I'm going to show you. Now listen, I understand that I understand I'm a single guy and I don't have children, and I understand that's another component. I do. I truly, and I can sympathize. However, I have clients who have families with kids and they are still able to do this. So I know it can be done. It is a matter of changing your mindset into saying, this is the best way for me to do this to make sure that I have good quality nutrition for me that I can take with me. You're going to end up spending less money because you're cooking it yourself, and the quality is going to be much higher also. So I really want you to keep that in mind. So listen. Here we are, it's a Sunday afternoon, right? This is usually the day, Saturday or Sunday, when I do most of my big cooking. And I'm going to take you through basically how I prep out about 3 to 4 days worth of food and vegetables for my juicing and all that kind of stuff. So I get it all done basically within a very short period of time. And then you can see on the back counter over here, or maybe you can't, but I have all my Tupperware ready to go and all that kind of stuff. So once it's cooked, it goes in the Tupperware, it either goes in the freezer or it goes in the refrigerator, and then I pull it from the freezer as I need it for those days that are coming up, okay? And you can do this for your family, I know you can. Okay, so here we go. What we're gonna make today, I am not a chef. I am not a chef. However, I did work in restaurants a lot. For me, eating is more functional. I love good tasting food, and all my food tastes very good. But I don't have to make like gourmet food, right? I love it when it tastes clean and simple. That kind of the way the old Italians used to do it. So today we have fresh wild caught cod fillet, and then we also have organic free range chicken. We also have organic free range eggs. And then over in the sink area, I'll move over there in a minute, we have all my vegetables for my juicing and the salads that I make. And then I also do this for myself. I give myself what I call bailout food, like I'm bailing myself out. So in this slim little cupboard here, what I'll do is, and I'll show you, I have bailout food or backup food just in case, so that I'm never getting caught without food. I bring it with me, right? So these are things I can bring with me, and they're shelf stable, so I don't have to worry about it, right? So I have sardines. Now I know some of you are going, oh God, sardines, I hate sardines. First of all, ask yourself, do you really hate sardines, or have you actually even had them before? Because they're actually pretty darn good. And these are all wild caught sardines, plain in olive oil. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them, right? And then I have tuna, which I'm not big for eating stuff out of cans, but again, these are bailout foods, so I will keep them, and the tuna's in water. And then I also have, but I barely use this unless I have to, I have a bag of dry lentils, and I have a bag of black beans. Barely ever touch this stuff. That would be in like case of dire emergency, where let's say we lose all the electricity and we can't get to the store. I have some dry goods, right? But I think I've had these for about a year already. So, and then olive oil and quinoa and some other things like that, okay? So, here we go. Are you ready? This is what I do. So, I'm going to go ahead and preset my oven right away. And I convect on this, and I bring it up to 410 degrees. I know most people would say, why are you cooking that so high? And I do a cook time of 1 hour and 20 minutes. So that's preheating right there. And then I already filled my pot, which has the colander in it, with hot water. So my eggs are going to go in there because I'm going to hard boil my eggs. And the reason I hard boil my eggs is because they make a really good safe snack that I can bring. I don't have to worry about the eggs breaking once I hard boil them. And if I want to be able to take the yolk out, a hard-boiled egg and just take the yolk out, right? So that's that. And that's going to go on. I'll cook the eggs on high until they come to a boil. I'll let them go for about another 5 minutes. Then I drain them, put them under cold water with ice, and I'm good to go. All right, so then here, let me get this going. Look at this huge, this is coconut oil. I buy it by the gallon, right? And so this is all solid in here. So I'm going to break that up a little bit and take a couple chunks of coconut oil. That goes in there. I'm going to get my skillet going. And then once I get my skillet going, I'll bring that down on just barely a medium heat. And then I'm opening up my fish. That's going to go in the skillet with some salt. I'm going to open up my chicken. So what I do with my chicken, and look, there's many ways you guys can cook, so you guys decide what you want. I'm just showing you how simple it can be and nutritious. So I just have a glass Pyrex dish. I sprinkle a little salt on the bottom, and then all I'm doing is putting skin side down, and I'll tell you why. Skin side down in there, giving it a little bit of space. There's one package, and here's the other package. Skin side down. And so the reason I do skin side down is so that, and this is my clean hand, that's my chicken hand, right? So I'm not contaminating. This is my salt. I'm just going to give it some salt. That's good there. This is going to go in the oven. Again, so it's going in at 410, and it's going to go for 1.5 hours. I'm going to turn I'll turn that off. This is a little vent that I turn on that goes. Meanwhile, my coconut oil's all dissolved there, right? Again, I salt my pan. The fish goes in. That's a beautiful piece of fish right there. There's a tiny bit more salt. You can use whatever else you want for seasoning, and please do. And then the top's going to go on there. And I'm going to turn that down to a medium, a little lower than medium. My eggs are going. So now those things are done, right? Oh, so the reason I put the chicken skin side down is because the skin is where most of the fat is, inside the fat, or inside the skin. So with it being down, it's going to drop down into the pan. If you want, you can certainly turn it over and have that fat drizzle down onto the meat. This is just the way I do it, okay? I am going to actually eat the skin because it's all organic and that's good. I just don't want the excess fat from it. So the fish is already going. That's going to be done in about 7 minutes. The chicken's on its own. That's going to be done in 1 hour and 20 minutes, and there's a timer, so that will tell me. I got my glass of San Pellegrino with my lemon in it. So now those are all done. My eggs are going. So I basically have eggs, fish, chicken, all going, right? And so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to move you guys to there and tilt that up. Okay, perfect. So now, look, this is what I have. I'm going to clean my hands real quick because I had chicken on them. So what I did was, I have 2 sinks here. This right side sink, as I'm facing it, I already filled with about 2.5, 3 gallons of water, probably more like 2.5. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my vegetables. So a great way to clean your vegetables is, again, filling a sink. And then for every gallon of water that you fill the sink with, you're going to add, and this is apple cider vinegar, right? So I only use this really for cleaning my vegetables. This isn't the stuff I drink. So for every gallon, I put in roughly a cup. So I'm just going to use 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. That goes in there, and so that's a bath now for the vegetables. And that will actually clean all the vegetables. So I'm going to squat down a little bit here so you can see me. So then all I do after that is I just start piling all my vegetables in the sink. So my carrots, so here's a bag of organic carrots. They go in first because they sink right to the bottom. And I'll get in there and just kind of squish them around. Kind of think of this as like a hand washing machine. Then all my apples are going in. So an apple for every juice. There's 8 apples, so that's 8 juices. I got lemons here. I'm going to actually do those too because I like using the lemon rinds. My ginger, my jalapeno peppers, those are going in. Cucumbers are going in, right? Hey, make sure when you buy this stuff, remember it's always organic. If you're not sure if it's organic or not, all you ever have to do is on the little labels they have that they use the little gun for, you know that thing. If it starts with a 9, it means it's organic. And if it's a commercially raised, right, big ag stuff, I believe, forgive me, I don't remember correctly, you'll be able to correct me if not, I believe it starts with a 4. So organic always starts with a 9. So there you go, I put in celery, and there's my kale, and here's my collard greens. So collard greens, I don't really worry about being delicate about this. I just put it in there and start mushing it around. I separate the leaves. And then here's parsley, 2 big bunches of parsley. So what I'll do there is I'll actually get in there and kind of push them in and drain them. This way I can really get the leaves and the stems all going in there, right? And then from there, I'm almost done. Here's a few stray pieces of kale. And then the last thing we got is cilantro. Look at how beautiful that is, right? And I do the same thing with the cilantro. I kind of just give it a dunking bath as I'm giving myself the same bath here, right? And then what I'll do is I'll just be with this for, you know, I don't know, anywhere a minute at the most I usually do. I just kind of sit here and just move things around so that the apple cider vinegar gets in there, and that's actually cleaning off the pesticides and any dirt that's in there and anything else, right? It's getting rid of all that, and we know that apple cider vinegar does a really, really good job. Now, you'll also hear that you can use white vinegar, which is perfectly fine. I just have a preference for apple cider vinegar. I think it's better. So, but you use what you feel is appropriate, but always make sure, even with organic vegetables, that you're actually cleaning them, right? Because they're still being grown in dirt. They still use organic fertilizers, right? So you want to make sure that's all off of there. And then there you go. That's really it. So now what I'm doing is I'm reaching down for the drain. I'll drain it. And then I'll fill it back up with cold water just to rinse it. Mush them around a little bit like a rinse cycle in your washing machine. And then I'll just shake these things out, dry them off a little bit, and I'll put them in my refrigerator. And I'll just pull from that as I make my juices or I cut this stuff up for salads. I have my fish, my eggs, my hard-boiled eggs, my chicken. There's certainly other things I do too. I'll buy some red meat and do red meat. I'll buy things like turkey and even ground turkey and that kind of stuff. As long as it's organic, free-range kind of stuff. Salmon, the same thing. Anything and everything like that. This is it. So literally what you just saw in, I'm going to guess and say 10 minutes. My prep is already done. Now it's going to take me about 10 minutes to put this stuff away, the vegetables. And then, you know, when the eggs are done, that's a 5-minute thing where I throw it into an ice bath and then I put it right back into its carton and into the refrigerator. My fish is going to be done. It's probably very close to being done right now. So I'll check that before we say goodbye. And then again, my chicken. And then all I'm doing is I got all different pieces of Tupperware here that I'll use. And here's the last thing. I always use glass storage. Yeah, it's got a plastic top and it's got these cool sealer snap things. So very, very, very cool. This is the way you want to store stuff, is in glass, not in plastic. And then again, it goes in the refrigerator and I just pull as I go. So what you're looking at is probably, again, roughly about 3.5 to 4 days worth of food. And what I'll do is right around day 3, I'll go shopping again, and I'll do this just one more time, and that gets me through the week, and then I do it again on Sunday. So I'm shopping roughly twice a week. I'm cooking at one big time, and then everything else, when I pull it, I'm just going to reheat it. That's all I'm going to do. So that's really it, guys. This is not hard. Eating this way is the best way you can do and give your body so it can heal. When you're eating this way, your body is constantly cleansing itself, so you're not getting a buildup of toxins. When you're juicing and you're drinking high-quality water, this is all a part of being prepared so that you have, in this case, your food for every meal. And so again, tomorrow I'll get up and I'll pull what I need, and I'll pull it in smaller serving pieces for my salad, chicken, whatever, my eggs, and I'll bring this with me to work. I have a little cooler that I put it in, okay? So that's how I do my food. And it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. But what I would ask you to do is, tell me how you do it. Tell me how you make it very efficient, because that's what we're talking about, being efficient and effective, so that we make sure that we have our food with us. We're never scrambling and saying, I'm starving, let's just go get this over there or get a piece of pizza, because that's not going to help you live a healthy, happy, joyful life. This will. High quality food. All right? So again, welcome to my kitchen segment for this week. And I'm looking for someone who's either a chef or an amazing, what I'm going to call wholesome organic cook, who really knows how to make wholesome organic foods, so that we can start doing video segments on actually preparing really amazing meals that way, so that you guys can have that too. Okay, so if you know of anybody, get them to me. Send them their info. Send them my info, or you send me their info, and have them reach out. Okay. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, what you do to prepare your food for the week, so you're not just doing it one meal at a time and scrambling. And any other suggestions you might have, I am totally open to it. All right? So until then, I love your guts. Take good care.